You thinking about getting a soundbar, but you're worried that it won't have big enough sound to match the action on your huge screen TV? Sony's new BRAVIA Theater Trio may be just what the home theater doctor ordered. Soundbars have proven popular because they're easy to set up and provide an upgrade over TV speakers, sometimes a huge upgrade. But as TVs have gotten larger every year, soundbars have basically stayed the same size, and this means the on-screen action may not be matched by the soundbar speakers. Most soundbars measure in at anywhere from 2 feet wide for the compact ones to around 4.5 feet wide for the larger ones. Sony's flagship BRAVIA Theater Bar 9 is around 52 inches wide, and Sonos flagship Arc Ultra is around 46 inches wide. Even the average 65-inch TV is wider than both of those at 57 inches. And if you're opting for a 100-inch TV, those are around 88 inches wide. That's over 7 feet wide. This means that the edges of your TV may each be 20 inches or more beyond the soundbar's outermost speakers. And this can lead to the sound seeming much smaller and less impressive than the picture. Sony just addressed this problem with their new BRAVIA Theater Trio. It's a powered 3-speaker system with dedicated left, center, and right speakers that allow you to place your main speakers on either side of your TV or projection screen for a wider, more impressive soundstage, even with the largest screens. You may say, but wait, doesn't Sony already offer the BRAVIA Theater Quad for just this reason? And the answer is yes. But the new Trio has something that the Quad doesn't have, a dedicated center channel speaker. And this can help improve dialogue intelligibility compared to the Phantom Center created by the Quad system. The Trio also supports up to 2 powered subwoofers, while the Quad currently only supports 1. Based on our listening tests and events in Japan and New York, we'd say that the BRAVIA Theater Trio works well on its own to improve the dynamics and immersiveness of TV sound, thanks to its high-quality front and up-firing drivers, but it can also be upgraded with rear speakers and 1 or 2 powered subwoofers for much more immersive surround sound with deep, extended bass. BRAVIA Theater Trio is compatible with all of Sony's current rear speakers and subwoofers, including the BRAVIA Theater Rear 8 and Rear 9 surround speakers, and the BRAVIA Theater Sub 7, Sub 8, and Sub 9 powered subwoofers. For best effect, we definitely recommend adding the Rear 9 speakers, as they include both front and up-firing drivers, as well as an integrated swivel mount that allows you to point the front drivers towards your listening position. Which subwoofer you pick is going to depend on room size and how much you love that low bass. The entry-level Sub 7 would be fine in a small apartment or a listening space to fill in that bottom end without shaking the walls or annoying the neighbors. But in a larger room, you may want to consider the larger Sub 8 with its one 8-inch driver, or the flagship Sub 9, which features 2 force-balanced 8-inch bass drivers in a larger cabinet for deeper bass extension. To even out the bass response in all parts of your room and provide the most substantial bottom end, the BRAVIA Theater Trio does support the addition of up to 2 powered subwoofers, not just 1. Like a soundbar, the Trio needs no separate amplifier or receiver. It's got the power built in. Just connect one HDMI cable from the TV or projector's HDMI ARC eARC port to the center channel speaker and plug it into wall power. That center speaker is the brains of the operation, communicating wirelessly with the rest of the speakers in the system. The front and the optional rear speakers, as well as the subwoofers, do need their own power connections because they need electricity for both the built-in amplifiers and for the wireless connectivity. So, how does it sound? We did get to hear a demo of the full BRAVIA Theater Trio system at Sony's headquarters in Tokyo earlier this year. It was matched with 2 of the company's flagship BRAVIA Theater Sub 9 subwoofers and a pair of the BRAVIA Theater Rear 9s in the rear. The system provided excellent dynamic sound overall, more than a match for the large screen True RGB TV it was paired with. Bass was deep and extended thanks to the dual subs, and dialogue was clear and crisp. Music and effects extended nearly the full width, height, and depth of the room, giving the whole experience a dynamic and cinematic feel. As to where this fits in the Sony lineup, the Trio isn't replacing the Quad, it's just providing another option for those who like the idea of variable width front, left, and right speakers, but also want a dedicated center channel, without the wiring complexity of an AV receiver and passive speakers. If you match the Trio up with the Sony TV, then you'll be able to make all of your audio adjustments right in the TV's quick settings menu. And you'll be able to take advantage of Sony's AI-enhanced Voice Zoom 3 feature, which elevates the dialogue without impacting the rest of the soundtrack. The Sony BRAVIA Theater Trio system can decode Dolby Atmos and DTS:X immersive surround sound in both lossless and lossy versions. However, unlike the BRAVIA Theater Bar 9 and Bar 8, as well as the Quad, the Theater Trio does not support 360 reality audio, an immersive format for music which competes with Dolby Atmos. To be fair, the catalog for music titles available in 360 RA is pretty limited, so this omission is not likely to be a deal breaker for most buyers. BRAVIA Theater Trio is certified IMAX Enhanced, which means it can decode the IMAX Enhanced DTS:X soundtracks on Blu-ray disc, UHD Blu-ray, and in streaming services like Disney Plus and Sony Pictures Core, applying the necessary IMAX EQ to the soundtrack for maximum impact. For wireless connectivity, the Theater Trio supports Wi-Fi 6E networking for high reliability, as well as Bluetooth and Apple AirPlay 2. New improved calibration microphone. While previous Sony home theater products have used the microphone built into your phone for calibration, the BRAVIA Theater Trio comes with a dedicated high-quality mic that plugs into your phone's USB-C port for greater accuracy, compatible with both Apple and Android devices. This helps the system to better identify speaker positions and compensate for less than perfect speaker placement and room anomalies. And speaking of speaker placement, the BRAVIA Theater Trio also has Sony 360 spatial sound mapping, 360 SSM, on board. This system compensates for imperfect speaker placement by creating phantom speaker channels all over the room in order to reproduce a more cohesive and expansive dome of sound. What's the catch? Well, at $21.99, yes, that's $2,199, Sony's BRAVIA Theater Trio is significantly more expensive than Sony's flagship soundbar, the BRAVIA Theater 9. And if you opt for the fully loaded system with a pair of BRAVIA Theater Sub 9 subwoofers and BRAVIA Theater Rear 9 speakers, the list price of the full Trio system gets pretty close to $5,000. At that price point, you might consider putting together a full home theater system with receiver and external speakers. You'll be able to get better bang for your buck this way, although the setup and the wiring will be more complicated. Sony likes to give its customers options. While soundbar-based systems offer simple setup, the soundstage can be a bit narrow, simply due to the size of the bar itself. By offering an option to widen that stereo separation and keep a dedicated center channel for dialogue reproduction, Sony is now giving buyers of extra-large TVs and projection-based systems another option, and it's one we haven't seen other companies match. The price is a bit intimidating, particularly if you opt for a full system with the rear channel speakers and 1 or 2 powered subwoofers, but the simplicity of setup, the sonic performance, and the Sony name is what you're going to be paying for here. Sony BRAVIA Theater Trio offers the wireless simplicity of a soundbar system, but with a hint at the performance of home theater separates. Its option to add not only rear speakers with upfiring height drivers, but up to 2 powered subwoofers gives buyers a clear upgrade path toward an audio system that can keep up with the visuals on a plus-size TV screen. If you already own or are planning to purchase an extra-large TV, the Sony BRAVIA Theater Trio is definitely worth checking out. So again, this was the Sony BRAVIA Theater Trio. Left channel, center channel down here, and the right channel, a 3-speaker system that can be enhanced with subwoofers and rear channel speakers, including the BRAVIA Rear 8 and Rear 9. And we actually have 2 of the BRAVIA Sub 9s in this room, and let me tell you, that sounded pretty impressive. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit wider than a soundbar and a little more room filling, BRAVIA Theater Trio is definitely worth checking out. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you on the next one.